friends, family, and internet strangers. Stephanie here. I've got my coffee and it's time to hit the road, driving cross country all the way to eventually North Carolina, but it's going to take about 7 to 14 days for my belongings to arrive. So I'm going to stop in my hometown first of Albany, New York until my stuff is ready for me to meet it, so I'm not sitting in an empty house. But for now, this is a road trip vlog. Let's go. So this is my Dunkin' coffee. I always start a road trip with coffee. So this one is a medium cold brew with the sweet cold foam, whatever the foam is. And then 2 pumps of the Mocha Squirrel, 2 of the hazelnut sugar-free syrup, and then a little bit of milk. So it is delicious. I don't know if you can see it there, but it is the first raindrops. I'm getting out of here right before the storm is supposed to hit. I love stopping at Terrible's, the rest stop at Terrible's, not necessarily the hotel and casino, but their rest stop is the world's largest Chevron. I don't normally get gas there, but they have the cleanest bathrooms and it's massive inside of the rest stop. So always good snack options too. I was going to get my favorite munchie mix, but then I noticed these. And I don't think I've had these since high school. I used to have these almost every single day. So I'm gonna get cheddar fries for nostalgia. Cheesy buffalo ranch chicken sounds good. I love roller bites. I have made it to my first destination of the trip. Normally on the first day of a cross-country road trip, I do a long driving day on the first day while I have energy, except I don't have energy anymore. All of this moving business has been just so exhausting and I am ready to relax. So I decided for my first stop to do one last escape from LA to St. George, except this time I'll be continuing to head north afterwards and not going back to LA. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you'll stick around, but I will link my road trip playlist below. I come to Utah a lot as a way to escape LA, which probably should have been a sign that I needed to get out of LA because I was coming to St. George pretty often. So I find it very peaceful here. I love it here. So one last trip through, although I'll probably be back on vacation from time to time, but I'm ready to have a nice lazy day and probably an early night, and then tomorrow will be a long driving day. Here is my first room of the trip. I'm at the Town Place Suites this time around. That's because this was the cheapest of the options, and since it's a road trip all the way across the country, I'm just going with whatever the cheapest Marriott in each area is. I ate at Super Chicks last time I was here and it was amazing, so doing it again. The main reason I love this place, you know, the food is good, but they have a sauce bar. I love the sauce bar. I got the Bacavo. It's got bacon and avocado on it. Regular fries, which are massive. And for sauces, I'm gonna try the signature sauce. I already know I like the fry sauce, ranch, and barbecue. One of the things y'all comment on the most when I mention it is the price of gas in different places. So I'm going to try to remember to let y'all know as I drive across the country what the price of gas is each time I stop for it. So the first place I stopped was at a pilot station about an hour and a half outside of LA in Hesperia. That's the place I normally stop because it is cheaper than a few of the places in either direction of that. So today it was $4.79 per gallon, but with the Pilot Rewards app, which I have, it's free. This is not an ad, just letting y'all know if you're driving cross country, download the Pilot app because there's a lot of Pilot stations everywhere. You get 10 cents off a gallon. So I paid $4.69, but anyone who didn't have that would pay $4.79. And now I am in St. George, so I went to Costco because there is a Costco here and I know where it is. So I paid $3.99 per gallon at Costco in St. George. Everything else in this area, for the most part, has been about $4.19 is the average that I'm seeing. I have exactly enough room in my car for these water bottles. The whole car is full. Time for dessert. I normally get Culver's, but I've never had Freddy's, and Culver's does not have a flavor of the day that I wanted today. So I decided, let me try something different. So Freddy's, I got a chocolate brownie concrete. It is the end of day one. It's 8:30 p.m. It is still light outside and I'm about to get ready for bed, but it's been a long day, even though it's only really 7:30 for me because time difference. I went ahead an hour and I'll probably be going ahead an hour every day until I get back to the East Coast. So lots of time changes coming up this week. But I came back after I got dessert. I watched Big Brother. I filled out my change of address form online so my mail can start going to North Carolina and not to my apartment anymore. And while I was doing that, it sent me to get a quote for my car insurance. And I knew it was going to be significantly cheaper than in LA. But y'all, it's over $100 per month cheaper than my car insurance in LA. So yeah, definitely making the right decision moving back. Good morning, day two. It is 9 o'clock in the morning on the dot. So I left the hotel at 8:50. I started getting the car ready. As soon as I turned out of the hotel on my way to get coffee, I remembered, oh wait, I wanted to stop at that cinnamon roll place that I had seen hadn't opened yet last time I was in St. George. And I pulled into the parking lot right at 9 a.m. So I am gonna go make sure they're open and see what this Wanna Sin place is. I love a good pun. That was the main reason I wanted to go, that, and I love cinnamon. So let's head into Wanna Sin. All right, there it is. It says their hours are 9 a.m., but the open sign is not on. Okay, success. It was open, the doors were unlocked, and there were people inside, like employees inside. I was the first one in for the day. They had just started pulling them out of the oven, so it is nice and fresh. I got to the original Sin, so it's a standard cinnamon roll, but it was cute in there. I love a good pun. They had punny t-shirts and they had just, all of it was decorated red. So we're gonna try this, but I'm already gonna go ahead with the smell and say this is probably gonna be pretty good. And y'all should probably check out Wanna Sin if you're ever in St. George. Or I think it might be a chain. I don't know that it's a big chain. I think there might be a few locations, but if you ever see a Wanna Sin, it was cute. And they were very friendly inside. Okay, y'all already know I was enjoying those puns, but look at this. The fork is a pitchfork. It's so funny. All right, let's bust into this and see what our original Sin looks like. Oh, that looks so good. All right, I'm gonna bust into this thing and I'll be back with a review. Clearly I didn't like that at all. This was really good. And this is not sponsored. I don't have any sponsors as of the making of this video. So anything that I tell y'all I enjoy, like I truly do enjoy it. So, oh my gosh. Wanna Sin, you wanna check it out if you are around one. So good. And there's little warming instructions for if you take it home and need to reheat it too. Yeah, that was good. All right, now coffee and then hitting the road. I plan on driving to Denver today and potentially a little further than Denver. We'll see how many stops I make along the way, but the goal is to make it almost through Colorado. So we'll see how far we get. I'll keep you posted. You know we're gonna be talking as we go along. Brief stop to use the restroom and change out of my contacts because it is not super sunny today and my eyes are super dry. It's really windy. My car is actually shaking right now while I'm parked. I'll turn y'all around in a second and show you this tree blown out the side of the window here. And yeah, a woman, she just almost lost her hat. She walked out of the gas station and immediately had to clutch her head. There she goes in the background just because her hat is about to fall off. So too windy, my eyes are too dry. Contacts can wait for another day. This one is a really nice fizz location. I got my fizz, I got my usual Sun Devil Diet Pepsi. I also realized there is a fizz in North Carolina. It's not exactly close to me, but if I ever go towards Raleigh, it's outside of Raleigh. I'm also gonna refill my water while I'm here because gotta stay hydrated with all this caffeine. This wind is doing fun things to my hair, but some of those curls look pretty good. Anyways, while I'm stopped here at the Fizz, getting my stuff all situated, I decided to start looking at the Loves app to see where there are Love stops. I love that I have figured out that these travel stops have apps so that I can plan ahead and not wonder how long is it going to be until I have another rest area to stop and fill up gas. And you can also see the price, the current price at each of the stations, so you can really plan ahead. So again, this is not an ad, although if they want to sponsor me, like, all for it, let me know. But it just makes it so much easier because right now I don't necessarily need gas right here where I'm stopped at the Fizz. And then I was able to see that there's a Love's another like 20 or 30 miles away, and I could see the price. And there's another one another 100 miles away, and I could make it to the one 100 miles away, but it's more expensive than the one that's closer. And the one that's closer will get me all the way through to the start of Colorado, where I thought it would actually be higher in Colorado than Utah for some reason, but it's not, it's lower. So I'm gonna stop at the one that's next and then stop when I get to Colorado. So I love that I was able to plan this out. It makes it so much easier than the guessing game. I was trying to start video and I thought, did I get a really bad sunburn? My face looks so red. But no, I'm parked next to a Pizza Hut and that bright red roof is reflecting off of my face. I'm not going to Pizza Hut though. I'm going to Taco John's. I have made it to my first Taco John's along the route. So I will probably eat Taco John's multiple times on this trip because I don't have it where I was or where I'm going. So really only when I drive across country is the only time I get Taco John's. Taco John's, I got my street taco combo with the potato olays and the cheese sauce. Gas price check, I'm at Love's. It is $3.99 a gallon in Parachute, Colorado, but I had the 10 cents off the gallon from using the app, so it was only $3.89. how crazy this car is. That all happened within 300 miles. It's not like I haven't done the windshield. I did it last time I stopped for gas, which was about 300 miles ago. But all of that was within Colorado. It looks like it rained bugs. And they would happen all at once too. You would just hear all the splatters. Crazy. I've made it to a hotel. Not the hotel I plan on staying at, and not a Marriott. Shocking, right? I'm cheating on my Marriott, I feel bad, but only slightly bad. So essentially on the days when I am doing long drives and I don't have a destination in mind, I have a goal, but I don't necessarily have a planned stop, I don't book my hotel reservation until about an hour to 2 hours beforehand, when at the end of the day, I know realistically how much further I can go, because I set goals and most of the time I can make the goals, but there have been times where I've stopped early and there have been times that I'm like, no, I still have energy. I'm gonna keep going. So I don't make my reservations until right beforehand, when I have a good feel for how much further I can go. So when I stopped around 8:30, 8:15, 8:30 to make a reservation for a place I plan to be in by 10 p.m., they didn't have any rooms left at the hotel that I was planning on going to, but at least I knew that in advance, because it meant the next town I stopped in, or the next town I passed that had hotels, I knew to just stop and try and find something, so I didn't have to keep going hoping I would find something. So I stopped at a Wyndham microtel. First I stopped at a Holiday Inn Express and they had no rooms, so I don't know what's going on. I know it's a popular moving time of year, but they had no rooms either, and their parking lot was filled completely with pickup trucks. I don't think I've ever seen that many pickup trucks at one hotel. But the Wyndham right across the street had room. So here I stay. And now I'm ready for bed. Good morning, it is day 3. I am in Colorado. So I only have probably about 100 miles left of Colorado. I'll be spending most of the day in Kansas, and Missouri should be about where I end up today. Potentially a little bit into Indiana. We'll see how I'm feeling towards the end of the day, and hopefully I can find a hotel. This one wasn't bad. It just wasn't the same. I've gotten so used to my Marriotts, but I am now in like the flatlands, so it should be fairly easy to drive all of this today. Colorado, I have not had good experiences in Colorado, so that was part of why I wanted to drive through Colorado on this trip. My Prius did not handle Colorado well. One of the times I went through, it had nothing to do with my car. There was a wildfire, but I didn't know that until that the highway was closed until past where the hotels were. So I had to go even further than I had planned through the night in the dark on back roads in Colorado. So that was not a great experience. And then when I came through the next time, it was January. It was not a snowstorm, but there were flurries and it was cold, and my Prius did not handle the elevation changes very well. It was not pretty. So when I got Ducky, I was like, I need to take Ducky through Colorado. Ducky can handle it, and I was correct. Ducky could handle Colorado. This is what I look like coming in and out of these hotels. Although if this is empty, I leave it in the car, but it was not empty last night. So got backpack, rolling bag, purse, cooler, ready to go. Coffee has been acquired. I got an iced Buckeye, which was peanut butter and mocha. This place was really cute and they had a lot of fun flavors. Time for a gas price check. So I am in either Lyman or Lyman, I don't know how you say it, Limon, Colorado. And at the Flying J, which is also known as Pilot, so Pilot Flying J, it is $3.79 per gallon, but just like Love's, Pilot also has an app where you get 10 cents off a gallon. So again, not an ad, but these things are free. Take advantage of them. I wish I had known that before my 10th time driving across the country. Although during my first ones, the app probably didn't exist because that was all the way back in like 2011 and 2012. But for all these 2020 ones and 2021 and 2022 and now 2023, this app has probably existed for all of them and I just didn't know. So use the apps, 10 cents off a gallon. So I paid $3.69 per gallon for gas here. As planned, Taco John's again. Same thing I had yesterday. I love that in this town, which is Colby, Kansas, there's a Taco John's and a Jimmy John's right next to each other. Time for another gas price check. It is $3.49 in Ellis, Kansas, but I'm out of Love's, so again, 10 cents off, $3.39 per gallon for me. Every time I do this, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at the flat boring part. That's easy. And then I forget that because it's so boring, it's exhausting because there's nothing to really hold your attention other than the cars, the minimal cars around you. So stopping for an afternoon sweet treat to try and perk my energy level back up. All right, I got the peanut butter cup and banana concrete, but I got it with chocolate custard instead of vanilla. We are back at Love's and this is a gas price check. It is $3.56 and I'm somewhere in Missouri, not yet to Columbia, Missouri. I'm like 20 miles into Missouri, so $3.56, and I had, of course, the 10 cents off per gallon, so I paid $3.46 per gallon. Here's tonight's bug check. Not as bad as last night, but only 3 hours and not 300 miles tonight. Made it to a Fairfield right outside St. Louis. Geography for this part of the country is never my strong suit. I forget how close all the borders are between Missouri and Illinois and Indiana. They're all very close together. So I have captured every welcome to whatever state sign except for Illinois because I didn't realize that I was going to be in Illinois. Also, my hotel is in Illinois. I didn't notice that when I booked it. I just noticed it was just past St. Louis, which is where I plan to go. So tomorrow will depend completely on my body because I have not been sleeping well, which is fairly standard, not just for when I'm in a hotel, but in general, sleep and I don't get along. So tomorrow, if I have the same problem tonight that I've been having, where I just toss and turn and barely sleep and I'm checking the time every 2 hours, then I'm just gonna get up early and hit the road and probably drive all the way back home, even though that's 14 hours. I've done more than 14 hours before. However, if my body does decide it wants to sleep finally tonight, I will sleep in and I will do 2 days to make it home. So that's the plan. It'll be all dependent on how my body does with sleep tonight. Good morning. It is day 4, second to last day because I did end up somewhat sleeping last night. I at least wasn't awake every couple hours. I slept somewhat decently, had weird dreams, but that is the standard for me. So I'll take it. It was better than the past few nights leading up to it. So the plus side to this, other than now I'm not going to be really rushing today, is that I can take things nice and slow. And now I get toasted ravioli because last night I got to the St. Louis area too late to get toasted ravioli, which is a must when you go through that area. And then if I had left early this morning, I would have been out before lunchtime. But now, since I was lazy this morning, I was like, you know what? Now that it's past, 7 a.m., may as well just take my time. So I am only going to drive 8 hours today. I'm going to drive to Youngstown, Ohio. I am currently in Collinsville, Illinois, which is just like right over the border, right after you go past St. Louis and Missouri, into Illinois, which I forgot I was going to be doing. So like I mentioned last night, didn't get my welcome to Illinois sign video, but time for toasted ravioli and then I'll hit the road. So there's the Fairfield where I stayed last night. Then when I looked up toasted ravioli, this option popped up. 500 feet away. I am around Greenup, Illinois. That's what the GPS says, somewhere around there. I'm at a Love's, so time for another gas price. $3.79 per gallon, but of course, since it's a Love's, 10 cents off, $3.69 per gallon this time around. 2,000 miles into the trip, I finally hit traffic. Not that I'm complaining that I haven't, but Indianapolis is the first place where I actually had really slowed down stop and go traffic. Luckily, it didn't last very long, only about 35 minutes or so of the traffic holdup. Now I just stopped to use the restroom, and my next stop will probably be dinner, which I haven't been doing. I've only been doing one meal each day, so like a meal and a snack, but toasted ravioli this morning fell on the same day as I'm going to be in Ohio, where I need to get chili. So lunch and dinner tonight. All right, and here's dinner, 5-way. Y'all, they should give you a bib when you eat here. I made such a mess, but now back on the road. Back at another Love's gas station. This one is in Ohio, mid-Ohio. That's what all the signs have been saying. So I'm around mid-Ohio, and it is $3.59 per gallon minus that 10 cents. So I'll pay $3.49. Tonight's bug check, nice and clean. All of that is water because it's raining. So Ducky got a nice little bath. Also, I'm staying at a Fairfield tonight. Whoa, look at that lightning. Fairfield in Youngstown, Ohio. This is a nice Fairfield. I'd say this one is either new or renovated. There was weather on that last little bit from the last gas station through the next hour and a half to now when I'm getting to this hotel. So there was a lot of lightning. For a while it was from afar, and then as I kept driving, it started taking me off the highway, to the main highway at least, to avoid weather. But then it was kind of sketchy being off the highway in the dark with all the lightning going, and it was starting to rain a little bit there as well. And I decided I would rather be on the main highway when it's raining, because then there's other traffic. You can see the road a little bit better when you follow someone from a safe distance in the rain. So even though the rain was harder on the main highway, it was easier mentally to make it through the storm because I could see where the road was a little bit better than when I was on the other not highway that the GPS was trying to take me through. Good morning. It is day 5, the final day of this road trip. I'm considering New York the end of the road trip because I don't know how long I'm going to be there before I go to North Carolina. So end of the driving cross country is today. I'm officially on the Eastern time zone.
Take a sharp left turn, then turn right.
I haven't even moved yet. This GPS is so pushy. Anyways, I guess I should get on the road because the GPS is going to be angry with me if I don't. So my final stop of the trip was at the historic Cascade Theater. They've turned it into a museum, but that was the Warner Brothers' first theater. So even though I have just left Warner Brothers, I guess you can't take the Warner Brothers out of the girl. You can just take the girl out of Warner Brothers. But I've planned this stop on multiple versions of my road trips, and it just has never actually happened. So I'm glad that I did it. I don't need to do it again. It's a little bit underwhelming. It's very small, which is fine. It wasn't that it was small, but you're not allowed to take pictures, which I didn't know. They didn't tell me that until after I had started taking pictures. There are like teeny tiny signs that say it, but it's not like a big sign when you walk in or anything, and no one's telling you. But they did say that because of what I did for a living, that it was fine if I took the pictures, but I promised them that I would not post them anywhere. So sorry, y'all, only have video of the outside of the sign because that is fair game. It's a little historical marker there, but it was a little bit underwhelming. It was small. They were very chatty. I really just wanted to look around, but they were talkers, and I understand, like, I can be a talker as well. And yes, part of my job for the past 7 years was engaging with people and telling them the Warner Brothers history. But I wasn't telling it to people who already knew the history. I had told them, you know, what I had done and how I had been involved, not just as a tour guide, but that I had worked on developing the classic film tours. So I had a lot of extra history knowledge of the Warner Brothers. And pretty much every story they told me, except for maybe one, I already knew. So there was that. I really just wanted to look around. So eventually I kind of snuck out, did a bit of an Irish goodbye. I did say goodbye to one of the people that I had been talking to, but the other guy, I was just like, let me sneak out while he's talking to someone else. I know that's terrible, but I have places to be. I have to hit the road here. I was gonna be there all day if they had their way. So yeah, I'm hitting the road again. Got a coffee on the way out of town to power me through this last bit of the trip. I got my first pumpkin spice latte, an iced pumpkin spice latte. And I don't just mean of the season, I mean ever. I really never had just coffee beverages until this year was the first time I did that. Up until now, I was always it had to taste more like ice cream than coffee drinker. So frappuccinos, blended mochas, that kind of stuff. It wasn't really until this year that I started drinking like lattes and different flavored drinks that do have a coffee taste to them. So this one doesn't taste too much like coffee, but I do like espresso based beverages now. So let's try it. Oh, that is tasty. Okay. I kind of see the hype now, now that I like drinks like this. It's my first pumpkin spice season. I'm a pumpkin muffin, pumpkin donut person. I've always loved those. But yeah, first year of pumpkin spice season. I'm here for it. Drizzled and sprinkled on and off for the last 3.5 hours of the drive. It didn't really start to pour though until I got into Albany, but I have made it to Albany, which is where I will stay until my belongings are ready to be delivered to North Carolina, and my mom is waiting inside the garage for me to come inside. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any more content. Thanks for watching.